Hello, my friend. It's the Crypto Lunatic live from the Lunar Café, bringing you moonshots before they pump and simplifying the language of crypto for those new to the space. Now, today I'm probably going to bring you my most important video, and this is how to research crypto coins. So you're going to see a lot of videos on people making recommendations, but how do you make that decision for yourself? How do you say, right, I'm going to double check this? And this is really, really, really important. So I'm not just going to give you my opinion. I'm going to get the opinion of four AI search engines to rate what areas are the most important for you to research. Now, what experience do I have? Let's start there because who the hell am I to give you advice? Well, part of my work journey is that I spent a few years in a funding. I founded and ran a funding company where I used to work with investors and I used to train people to pitch for funding. So I've had hundreds of conversations with investors as to what they look for with a startup pitch. So that is the background I bring to this. Now I'm bringing traditional finance into it. Now crypto is a different niche within that. And for that reason, I'm going to bring you the opinions of AI search engines and not just my own. But what I can tell you in traditional finance is that the team is really, really, really important, especially the founder that's pitching. Ultimately, most companies' unique selling point comes down to the team, the founder. Now, unless you've got a patent or something clearly unique or first mover advantage about what you've done, then the odds are it comes down to the team and the charisma and the track record. So this in traditional finance is really important, but also identifying a clear problem that needs to be solved. So these are traditional things, and there's other aspects that go into it. Traction usually sells. They like to see some traction. A good idea is not enough. But this is traditional finance. So I'm now going to take you on an AI search engine route of what to look for and how important they are when you're researching cryptos. So my friends, join me on a little lunatic journey. So let's start with Claude AI. I put the same prompt in, rank things in order of importance. So the top one for Claude is the technology and fundamentals. This is the underlying blockchain technology, the consensus mechanism, scalability solutions, technical architecture, review the white paper for technical feasibility, innovation, and a clear problem solving approach. Assess the code quality through GitHub repositories, audit reports, and developer activity. So the team and leadership, again, I've mentioned this, this is very important. Tokenomics and economic model. So you'll see on my videos, I do talk a lot about the tokenomics, the token supply mechanics, the total supply, the circulating supply, and also another aspect of tokenomics, is it inflationary? And the question here is, are they releasing tokens every year? Is there more tokens coming onto the market? And most cryptos are inflationary. So Bitcoin isn't. Bitcoin has a fixed supply. So is there a fixed supply? Is there inflation? Vesting schedules. I talk a lot about this on the channel and the distribution model. Now, if they've given tons of tokens to the team, you can ensure that dumpage is coming in. So understanding who owns the tokens, this is why we look at wallet distribution. Real world utility and use cases, are they solving an actual problem? Security and audits. So is there smart contract audits? How's the code being put through a testing mechanism? The market dynamics and liquidity, we talk about this, the trading volume, the market cap, and the exchange listings. So this is the Coinbase, the Binance effect, things like this. Which exchanges are they on? How much access do people have to these coins? So regulatory compliance. Now, where the crypto is based, which country it's based in, and the regulatory framework is really important. So, for example, now Trump is very crypto friendly, but before there, Biden, there was a regulatory nightmare. So, as soon as Trump took over from Biden, any US based companies suddenly became more appealing. In the UK, it's not so good with regulation. So UK-based cryptos would be facing more challenges. And these are the sort of things you need to know the regulatory landscape of the country that the crypto is based in. Community and ecosystem. This is why we always look at the X accounts and find out what's the engagement, how many people are engaging with this crypto. Really important, because if there's no market, if there's no people following it and there's no market, then it could be great technology, but if no one's using it, that's not going to help. We look at the competitive landscape. Who are they up against? Direct competitors. This is always part of the due diligence process. Who are they up against? And the financial health and funding. So treasury reserves, burn rate, revenue streams, investor backing, and funding rounds. So well-funded projects by VCs, that's good. But if VCs have got a ton of tokens, that's not good. And balancing these two up is really, really important. And their roadmap and execution. Are they building? Are they live? Are they profit making? These are the factors. And that's Claude. So let's go to X team and founders, top of the list. White paper and vision, which was top of the list with Claude. Tokenomics, same deal. Technology and development, 75. Community and ecosystem. Market competition. So all the same things, just slightly different ratings. Regulatory and legal compliance. Security and audits. Market performance and liquidity. So these are all the same things, just rated differently. Now, don't worry, at the end, I've got ChatGPT to aggregate all of these. But that is what X says. Perplexity. So here we go. Look, you're seeing common themes here, team and transparency. So can we actually see a lot of crypto Web3 projects and you've got no idea who's behind it? Now, you can analyze code. Things like Bitcoin, we don't know who's behind it, but we can analyze the code, and the code is solid. So if there's solid code to the project, then team transparency is not as important. So these two things have to be weighted together. Tokenomics and supply mechanics, as we've covered before, technology and smart contract security, 90%, liquidity and market metrics. There's no liquidity in the market, you won't be able to sell the token. So liquidity is really, really important. We're in with the regulatory and legal compliance, real use case and value proposition. These are all the same things. Auditability and transparency, community engagement and ecosystem health, cybersecurity and data protection. Now, this is hacking risk. This is something that needs to be considered as well. Unfortunately, this usually doesn't get considered until it's too late. Partnerships and roadmaps. So partnerships, this is big as well. They've got big partnerships and access to a broader ecosystem, and that's very, very relevant. So they've even got a little table for you there. And finally, ChatGPT. So utility and use case, top of the table. Team and advisors. Tokenomics. Roadmap. Community and social presence. And all of these are very high ratings. Security and audits. See, there's very common themes here. Regulatory and legal risk. Market exchange listings. Obviously, the Binance and the Coinbase effect. But I also talk a lot about exchanges like Revolut that don't really get the attention they deserve. And yet 60 million people have access to crypto through Revolut. Partnerships and ecosystem. The competitor landscape, the white paper and documentation, token distribution, events and funding history, and on-chain metrics. These are active addresses, transaction volume, and token velocity. Staking or locking. Now, this is an actual part that hasn't been covered here. If there is a lot of staking like Solana, most of the tokens are staked. Now, this shows the buy-in to the ecosystem, and this is really important as well. If a lot of the tokens are tied up or staked, then that is a good thing. Media coverage and reputation, and also influencer shout-outs can pump prices as well. Economic model and revenue generation. So there's the summary table. Now I've put all of those prompts in and said, look, summarize it all. We're going to aggregate all of these things, and here is the aggregated weighted factor based on 4 of them. So top of the tree, in fact, joint top. is utility, use case, and real world value with 90%, and team leadership and transparency. Also code. So with Bitcoin, that would be code. Tokenomics and economic model, really, really important. Technology, blockchain architecture and security. Regulatory legal risk, number 5 at 80%. Market dynamics and liquidity at 78. Community and ecosystem engagement, 75. Competitive landscape differentiation is 70. Roadmap and execution history, 65. Financial health and funding partnerships, 60. Transparency, community, communication and auditability is 60%, and media reputation and external signals there. So here we go. Observations and points of agreement. Strong agreement across sources that utility, use case, team, tokenomics, and technology security are top priorities. These consistently scored high. Regulatory compliance, often undervalued in reviews, but it emerges as more important in the newer sources than in some of the older checklists, likely because of increasing scrutiny globally. And community and ecosystem. Well, this is non-negotiable in any business. We need to see that there is an audience for it. So there you go, my friends. That is the report from the Lunar Café of how to do your own research and what to look for when you're researching crypto coins. And if this has been useful and you're still watching and you want more of the same, and you like it here, you want to join me on the Lunar Café for some coffee and cake, then do like and subscribe to the channel. And if you want another video, you'll find that just there. But either way, stay lunatic, have fun, and make money with crypto.